Okay, we're on camera. Today, this is lesson 9-1, solving quadratic equations. In other words, you're finding the value of x when y is 0. Okay? So let's take, by the way, you'll see this a lot. I like y. So this parabola, if I graph it, is going to cross, I happen to know, the x-axis twice. It's going to cross at 4 and -4. If you went through all the t-chart and all that, that's what you would get. And I know the y-intercept is -16. And I know it points upward because of the positive a. If y is 0, we're going to factor the quadratic. Now, next week, it'd have to be next week, we're going to use the quadratic formula when you can't factor. You know, when it's prime, we're going to use the quadratic equation. All right. I also found out that you guys do not know how to simplify this. This is an 8th grade standard. My 8th graders did this. You didn't break it up to the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. You never did this?
No.
What? Holy moly. Okay, we have to have a lesson on this before we can do the quadratic formula. When you get an answer at the quadratic formula that looks like that, which you will, because these that can't factor come out to these weirdo answers, you have to simplify. So everything I planned is changing as of next time I see you. I had no idea you didn't know how to do that.
Well, we were on virtual, so like maybe we did, but...
Yeah, virtual, yeah, maybe. Anyway, we're going to set y equal to 0, and we're going to factor. What does this come out to? X minus 4, x plus 4. Then we're going to split it up. Now you can do this in your head, I'm sure. This equals 0 or this equals 0. X is 4, x is -4. That means you have a parabola that crosses at 4, 0 and -4, 0. Solved by factoring. Next lesson will be solved by using square roots, and then the final one will be solved by using the quadratic formula. When you can't factor, the quadratic formula is your friend. Otherwise, I had a kid that didn't know how to factor very well and used the quadratic formula every time. You can use it and get this answer, but you don't want to because it takes forever. And you really need to know how to use your calculators. Because you know the quadratic formula, how hard it's going to be plugging all those in. Okay, let's take another one. X squared minus 14x plus 49. Okay. We're going to set that up equal to 0.
It's 2 -7s.
What do we get? X minus 7 twice. So, if x minus 7 equals 0, x is 7. That means your parabola, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only has one solution. Okay? Great stuff, isn't it?
Did you play for the Colts?
I do.
There's his letter. No way.
All right. Now we're going to set this up equal to 0, and we're going to factor. What happens?
You can't.
That means your parabola is up here somewhere. Just happens to be up there.
Now would we have to graph it? Like,
You know what I'm doing? You're not graphing anymore.
oh, we're done graphing?
We're done graphing. The graphing was only to show you where these answers are coming from.
Okay.
You're not graphing anymore. You're going to do all your story problems by factoring, square roots, quadratic formula. Although you do have one more graph on your homework tonight for review. You just took a test on it. Surely you don't need the review, but you know. You never know. You always, certain kids need review.
What's the review for?
All right, what do I do here?
No.
Subtract 8. You have to have it in standard form first. X squared, 2x minus 8 equals 0. Now we're going to find x. Stop rocking in your chair. Can anybody factor that for me? It can be factored. X plus 4, x minus 2. So, x plus 4 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. This solution is negative 4. This solution is 2. That means, once again, you have a parabola that crosses the x-axis here and here. Simple stuff, isn't it?
Yep.
And you also know that at negative 8, it's going to cross, because that's the y-intercept. Pretty good one compared to the one some I saw on the test. One kid did a parabola. Let me just show it to you. Okay, you got a point there, point there, point there, and then he did this. It's a freaking mustache.
No, it's a whisker.
Whiskers, yeah. Oh my God. Where did that come from?
What? What were you?
All right, we're gonna factor first. What can I do?
Maybe they thought it was some sound wave or something.
Factor, factor. GCF. Oh, that's why we're practicing factoring on the board today. Okay, we have two factors now. X equals 0. X plus 3 equals 0. In this case, X is
3.
negative 3.
Good thing.
It's not the same thing. If I owe you $3,000, are you going to settle for negative 3,000, which means you're not getting anything?
You're actually giving
You're going to give you, yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's a $6,000 turnaround, you know, it's not good.
No, not at all.
Okay. Anyway, the solutions, that means crosses here and here, okay? It's amazing to me how fast I can teach you guys something that took me a week doing my high school class.
What?
If anybody repeats algebra, you'll get an A+. Even you. You're gonna get an A. You'll be the smartest kid in the class.
Good job.
Supposedly.
Anybody that repeats it, you really will be the smartest kid in the class. Because you know so much more than they know. Well, for an example, in regular 8th grade right now, the kids you would be in class with, they're struggling finding X.
Well, those are my islands.
Oh my, Evan
Okay,
must be so smart.
that's-
No,
Yeah,
not
I-
that.
I'm just
That-
telling you,
No, Evan,
and if you don't want to be bored, don't take it again. It will be boring. The first lesson in high school is order of operation.
I know how to do that.
Yeah. All right, couple more. Somebody factor it. X plus 5, X plus 2, so X equals negative 5 and negative 2. Now a story problem. Look, you guys, this is way better than the way we were doing these story problems. Okay, so we have a diver. The height of a diver above the water during a dive is h is height, t is time. H equals negative 6t squared plus 8t plus 48. And the question is, how much time does it take for the diver to reach the water? Okay? Okay. Height is going to be 0. factoring.
40.
GCF.
8.
8.
8.
GCF of 8.
4.
Negative 8.
8.
4.
Memory, you don't want any negatives in here. Okay, so that's 2t squared plus,
That's
Isn't it minus 8?
I'm not very good with numbers,
I feel math teacher.
minus t minus 6. All right,
We got 2 negatives.
Oh, magic.
now for those of you that do guess and check, congratulations, that's the best way to go. For those of you that can't,
2t minus.
remember you do 2 times 6 is 12. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Those are your factors, and we're looking for a -1. -4, +3. We're going to split the middle term. 2t squared plus 3x minus 4x. All I'm doing, t, I did that twice today.
What happened to the 6?
What happened to the what?
Minus 6.
Oh, I'm not done. -6.
Candy.
Okay?
Just to make sure she doesn't forget a case.
All right. Then you're going to use grouping. I don't even think I'm on the camera right now, but that's all right. Greatest common, I am?
A little bit.
That's right. Greatest common factor here.
T.
T, 2t plus 3. Write it again. And what's missing here?
Yes.
-2. So, we have 2t plus 3, and we have t minus 2. Now we have 3 things that are equal to 0. You have -8 equals 0, which it can't. You have 2t plus 3 equals 0. T equals -1.5. Now think about the question. How much time? Time can't be negative. So that gets tossed. There's going to be 2 that get thrown out to answer your story problem. 2 seconds. What?
How can it be a parabola? It's not, is it?
It's a parabola because
So
you're
like if you
square.
dive in the water.
I don't know where he's diving from.
Into the air.
Well, he doesn't
he-
usually dive. like a
Probably
parabola.
from a platform.
It's probably from 48.
But that's only a half of a parabola.
That could
Well,
really
it
guide you down.
exists,
Oh.
but the story problem starts here.
Where do you think the ladder comes from?
Well, he's not going to jump up on a parabola for the ladder or anything. But
How'd he get up there?
The ladder.
on a
I was
ladder.
gonna say,
Or
how do you,
stairs.
He didn't get up there on the other part of the parabola.
he didn't climb the parabola.
Stairs would be living room.
All right, so I want to send you to the board to make sure you remember how to factor. I had 2 or 3 kids that completely forgot. And so we're going to practice factoring, and then we'll work on the homework where
I'm not
you
sick to this.
set it up equal to 0 and find the answer.
This is not
Piece of
good.
cake?
I
Yeah.
need some more practice.
To the board.